So, does anyone care to touch on this further?
More than anyone else, he is the national conservative figure who could equal what Reagan has accomplished and far exceed it. These leaders are talking about Pat Robertson.
Wait a minute. Coalition for America. Let me, Coalition for, hang on, a little bit bigger, huh? Coalition for America is a Washington, D.C. think tank that says that its mission is to bring about public policy and enhances free enterprise, limited government, strong national defense, and traditional values. Its priority issues are social issues, economic issues, defense, and foreign policy issues. League of Catholic Voters, Citizens for Responsible Government. Oh, my name is Jerry. I left MAGA, and in this episode, I'm going to be talking about Pat Robertson, and in particular, his campaign for the Republican candidacy for president. So, this ended up taking a weird turn for me at the end. We'll get there, but you'll notice I don't have the dates and stuff up. It doesn't really matter. All these are related to 1988, the campaign, so we'll go with that. Also, all these videos are linked in a playlist that's linked in the description, and there are three articles article tabs that I want to present at the end for consideration. I'll probably end up tagging Laura over at Magical Mystery Church on this one because this crosses over into her stream as well, and I found it rather interesting that things went this direction. Anyway, let's get into Pat Robertson and his campaign ads.
Hello, I'm Pat Robertson. You know, back in 1980, they called Ronald Reagan an actor and said he couldn't win. But he did win because he offered a strong patriotic leadership. Well, in this presidential race, our campaign is just beginning to fill that same need for traditional values and strong conservative government. Right now, I'm not asking for your vote. I'm just asking you to listen.
There you go, Pat Robertson, a new vision for America. All right, so what are some of the planks that he has on this platform? Let's see. This campaign ad is called commercial taxes.
Stable families are the foundation of America, and stable children are the future of America. Yet, during the last 20 years, the tax burden on families with children went up about 245%. Does that make any sense to you? Of course not. Let's make common sense common practice in Washington.
Vote Pat Robertson for president.
Wow. Okay, so again, that message hasn't changed much over the decades, has it? All right, let's see what's up next. We've got prayer in schools.
Every day that the United States Congress is in session, it opens its session with prayer. Every session of the Supreme Court opens with prayer. And yet the Supreme Court has said that although they can pray, little children in the schools of America can't pray. Does that make any sense to you? Of course not. Let's make common sense common practice in Washington.
Vote Pat Robertson for president.
Wow. So you can see that was already a deep-seated thing when I was a kid back in the 70s. He was just marching right along with that moral majority rhetoric. Uh, Crazy, crazy. All right, so up next, education.
Do you have the right to know if your child is having an abortion?
A child in a school today, for example, will go and have an abortion and not even tell their parents, but the laws in certain states, like Virginia, says that if that child falls down and scrapes his or her knee, that the principal can't bring medical attention without the parental consent. totally confused as to who's in charge of the children and what rights the school has and the parents have.
Okay, so in 2020, in 2020s, it's 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 not. Oh, good grief! It's about transitioning your kids, not. Oh, good grief! So they always find something to grind on, some social aspect that may be part of the general conversation, and make it something that they don't like, just because they have to have an enemy.
Next president of the United States.
An extraordinary man, an American success story. More than anyone else, he is the national conservative figure who could equal what Reagan has accomplished and far exceed it. These leaders are talking about Pat Robertson.
Wait a minute. Coalition for America. Let me pull that up real quick. That sounds familiar to me for some reason. Sorry about that. Strange. Oops, wrong browser. New window. I'm watching some of these just like colds, obviously. Let's see. Coalition for America, sourcewatch. What we got here? Um, no, I'm not a robot. Here, let me pull this into the frame and let me make that larger. Coalition for, hang on, a little bit bigger, huh? Coalition for America is a Washington, D.C. think tank that says that its mission is to bring about public policy and enhances free enterprise, limited government, strong national defense, and traditional values. Its priority issues are social issues, economic issues, defense, and foreign policy issues. League of Catholic Voters, Citizens for Responsible Government. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it's definitely right. Oh, religious conservative Paul Weyrich and Newt Gingrich were the key figures in the foundation with funds from Joseph Coors. Oh, good grief. All right, I'll include the link to that one at the end. I need to just move right along. All right, so Pat Robertson on commercial defense.
Do you know that we spend $300 billion a year to defend ourselves against the Soviet Union? And then we turn right around and loan communist countries the money they need to strengthen their own economies. Does that make sense to you? Well, that's what we're doing. We're propping up communist tyranny with American money. And I think it's time we made common sense common practice in Washington.
Well, that stale old story hasn't gone away either. Quit sending money to other countries. I mean, yeah, okay, we should be taking care of our people here at home. But at the same time, we have treaties with allies that, or did have anyway. I'm moving along.
Something important is happening in New Hampshire.
Oh, this was, we've listened.
Sure.
Pat Robertson is the only one that I can see that can put together a national coalition of good, strong conservatives throughout the country.
We've listened to Pat Robertson on the issues.
Pat Robertson wants to get a tax deduction for mothers who choose to stay at home and raise their children.
I think Pat Robertson is the best conservative choice by far.
A campaign on the move. Pat Robertson.
My. Now, see, that Republican stance has definitely changed. All right. Pat Robertson, leaders are talking.
Next president of the United States.
Oh, we've already heard this one. All right. we'll skip that. It's probably doubled up in the playlist as well. I thought I got all those. All right. Qualifications is the name of this campaign ad.
Only one candidate running for president built a small business into a major national corporation. Only one candidate has organized
I love the fax, fax machine effect.
private relief centers in 24 countries, has a law degree from Yale, and serves as president of a respected university. Who is this extraordinary man? Look for this special section in your newspaper Sunday and get the full picture of a man uniquely qualified to be president.
Well, that sure is what we would call a teaser or a hook, huh? I wonder what that flyer said. I may have to go ahead and break down and get my newspapers.com membership site finalized so that I can get that all taken, do that stuff. Um, Family Farms is the name of this one.
Last year, thousands of American family farms were going bankrupt. But while this was happening, the United States government was paying farm subsidies to a farm in Texas owned in part by the Prince of Liechtenstein. Does that make any sense? Of course not.
Liechtenstein, and what's going on right now with what I remember Eric Schmidt when he was Senator Eric Schmidt from Missouri when he was working in the Missouri Congress, lobbied in favor of allowing Chinese companies to invest in American farmland, and that's become a talking point again, hasn't it? But he's flipped his direction on that. I've got a video about that I did on Eric Schmidt, so there's that. You can go watch that and catch up on it. I may end up having to do another one. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to introduce you to these people and the ways that they think.
How can
Yeah, okay. This one's the
we
economy.
reduce welfare spending without hurting the needy?
If we gave a check from the federal government to every person to supplement their income and bring them above the poverty line, which let's say it's defined as about $12,300 or so for a family of four, it would cost us $50 billion a year. And yet, in local, state, and federal welfare programs, we are spending $400 billion a year.
Tune in to Perspective 88 with Pat Robertson.
Interesting. Yeah, you can see the kind of stuff that I check out there. Let's see. This one's called Family.
What would you do to someone who sold your children drugs?
If anybody is convicted of a second offense of dealing illegal drugs to juveniles, that individual should get a life sentence in prison with no chance for parole. We've got to be tough and, in a sense, seal our borders. We have a shocking drug problem. It's $120 billion a year. It's wasting our youth, and we must do something and do something about it.
Tune into Perspective.
Well, that hasn't changed a dadgum bit yet, has it? They just keep hammering away on the same old stuff. All right, this one's called Taxes. We may have already seen it.
Stable families are the foundation of America, and stable children are the future of America. Yet, during the last 20 years, the tax burden on families with children went up about 245%. Does that make any sense to you? Of course not. Let's make common sense common practice in Washington.
Man, that not the catchiest, not the catchiest of all campaign themes or slogans. All right, so this one is where things got a little sideways for me, and the plane landed kind of odd. The Plan, maybe Pat Robertson. It's a commercial, so from 1989. And yes, it is Pat Robertson. But check this out.
You look up and down for answers, but your plans seem to go nowhere. For every 3 steps forward, you slip back too. The inner peace you thirst after is elusive, and you find yourself asking, what do I have to do to find a plan that works? Next week, the plan is here, and just in the nick of time.
Check this out. The Plan is a book by Pat Robertson. And down here we got a little bit of a synopsis. Nothing Pat Robertson has written before will prepare you for the plan. It is his most revealing, most painfully honest book. It is an unflinching account of how he followed God's plan for his life, a plan that left him seemingly defeated in the political arena and nearly shattered the foundation of his worldwide Christian broadcasting network. Yet, these setbacks became the cornerstones for a series of triumphant, life affirming victories. The plan is a step by step blueprint that details how to discern a loving God's plan for your life. A Bible based plan so detailed, so complete that it is applicable to the practical questions that confront Christians daily. Is now the time for me to start a new business? Who should I marry and when? Which house should I buy and when? In these turbulent days, the plan will be a spirit filled journey into Christian discernment of what the future may hold for you. God does have a plan for our lives, and if we follow His plan, the reward isn't a BMW or Rolex. It is a joy that transcends earthly pleasures, the joy of being in God's perfect will, perhaps for the first time. So I think it's rather interesting. As I was reading through this, I noticed this spirit-filled journey into Christian discernment. And if you'll go back and look at my video on Empowered 21, you'll see that spirit-filled or spirit-led was a common theme in this Christian dominionist deal. Although Pat Robertson was not so much a Christian dominionist, he was a distinct part of everything that was going on back then. Even though he wasn't successful, he didn't have the charisma. Uh, you, we can catch up with him at another time. So, I got more on that. Anyway, so hang on, let me pop back over here real quick. The plan, or trust the plan from Q. Trust the plan, the rise of QAnon, and the conspiracy that reshaped the world. The Guardian described it as detailed and impeccably researched, eye-opening, punchy, and well-reported. Sommer is the perfect person to tell this story, the New York Times. And it goes on. The, quote, the expert on America's right-wing fringe. I don't know about the expert. But anyway, with kidnappings, murders, and satanic rituals, this is a story so bizarre, only Will Sommer could report it, says The Atlantic. For the followers of QAnon, the idea that Donald Trump was anointed by God to stop a depraved deep state government that sexually abuses, kills, and eats children is an unquestionable fact. But how did a conspiracy theory from the dark side of the internet convince millions across the world to believe the unbelievable? Um, oh, shoot, fire. Voltaire. Anybody who can make you believe absurdities can lead you to commit atrocities. Anyway, who are these people? And more importantly, what do they want? Investigative journalist Will Sommer dives headfirst into QAnon, the great conspiracy with global consequences, with the first-hand access to the leading figures in the Q movement. Sommer examines how the internet has radicalized politics, uh, threatened democracy, and inspired insurrection, and assassination to show how we got here and how we can chart the path out. Now, I don't know. Wait, what do we got down here at the bottom? I thought I saw some. Oh, those are dimensions. All right. But I also thought about while working through my stuff, being QAnon adjacent and having done this whole thing, discovering this check operation known as Operation Trust. If you don't know about it, I suggest you check it out, or I should do a video on it. There's some stuff out there about it. But I was also listening to some other work from some other people, and I became aware of this Alice Bailey character. And I don't remember exactly where I first heard about her, but she created this 10-point plan to destroy Christianity. And there's some evidence that would suggest that somewhere back around 70, uh, back in the day, I don't know exactly when, but back in the day, she had some interaction with some early evangelicals in the latter rain movement, from what I understand. So let's take a look at the 10-point agenda by Alice Bailey as follows: take God and prayer out of the education system, reduce parental authority over the children, destroy the Judeo-Christian family structure or the traditional Christian family structure. If sex is free, then make abortion legal and make it easy. Make divorce easy and legal. Free people from the concept of marriage for life. Make homosexuality an alternative lifestyle. Debase art, make it run wild. Use media to promote and change mindsets. Create an interfaith movement. Get governments to make all these law and get the church to endorse these changes. Now, I also want to point out that a group of individuals in America, and I don't remember now exactly who it was, but I think they're affiliated with the Piacean Order of the Catholic Church. They based their information and understanding on Satanism and demonology on Anton LaVey's book, which Anton wrote on his own. But this is how these people tend to take historical concepts. And now I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm not saying that this hasn't tried to play out. I'm quite sure that it has because of the way it's laid out. But I also understand just exactly how it's been weaponized. Um, but I don't have it completely. I, it, it's madness. It's just utter madness. I mean, we're talking. We're talking. This movement is super diverse. It's really super diverse. But I'm veering away from the original point. What my original point was that um, Pat Robertson was was built, so to speak, to fit a certain role. Uh, his presentation was designed to tickle itching ears. So it's because of this backing. I did not pull that up. That was not part of, that wasn't my point for this video. My point for this video was to try to get the point across that the platform in and of itself hasn't really changed. It's just become more radical. It's been more readily enabled because of the infiltration and, for lack of a better term, an interfaith movement. I've said it before, I'll say it again. MAGA is a meta conglomerate of cults. It is a cult that is infused together out of a ton of other cults. Um, I should try to put a list together so I can read them to you. At least the cults that I'm aware of that are distinct members of the MAGA movement. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up. I've got one more to do today. It's kind of gray and nasty outside. Tomorrow's No Kings 3. I'll be getting video for that. And be presenting some stuff around all that in the very near future. So until the next video, take care of yourself. Oh, wait. If you like the video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody that you think might like it, share it with them. And if you haven't yet, please give me a subscription. That really helps. All that really helps with the algorithm. And if you have any thoughts or ideas, questions, please drop them in the comments section, or even just a blue heart. Let me know you made it to the end. All right. So now, until the next video, take care of yourself so you can help take care of others. Get the rest that you need and track those fluids.